That's got to be a dream start for T1. I'm joined by their coach, Autumn, here with me. Now, NRG, they showed their Lotus yesterday. How much did that help you in terms of preparation, and did you see any weaknesses that you used against them today?
Honestly, they have same strat and same way for their both of sides. Like they played on NA VCT. So I thought their system of the game is totally same, and honestly their attack side is pretty good, but I saw their defense side is really weak. So I prepared their attack side. So I told my guys how can we counter them on our defense side, and it worked.
Yeah, you did a great job. Thank you very much, Autumn, and let's just see if you can close us out on Vine. Good luck.
Thank you.
It most definitely did work as T1 get a 13-11 victory over NRG. And NRG were making that one a real close one at the end there. But it was good to see the T1 double down and were able to bring it back. Welcome, everyone. Golden Boy alongside with Mimi and Kukuka. And, you know, I have to say, like, again, it's just great to see this T1 team just not give NRG, you know, a step. But also NRG kind of forcing the situations at times, well, maybe a little bit to their detriment as well.
Yeah, I think NRG is continuing to really struggle with this defensive side. And T1, to their credit, played super well on the attack. They really slowed things down on their Lotus. We're playing a lot of these rounds where they're just waiting to use their utility to feel out NRG's aggression, and then mid-round re-pushing for extremity control and ending in these really effective late pops.
I love that we heard Autumn talk about it. I think that they kind of read them to a T. They know that they're not going to be on those fast rotations. They're going to take their time. I think that the flanks were very good and very clean. They understood exactly the timing and when to do things in the game, not only round per round, more than just in the round itself. So I love to see that T1, you know, decided to go for this map and was very right about how to approach it.
And, well, we do have to give credit to T1. I also have to critique NRG's style with this composition, because they're falling into the same traps. It started with a lot of this overly aggressive extremity control. They would wait to see if there's any utility for T1, and if there wasn't, they would still commit for these fast pushes towards Rubble that were getting punished by T1, who was ready for those. And when they decided to slow things down, their default setup had both the Neon and the Sky anchoring on their A site, which meant they couldn't be as proactive to re-clear space in the mid-round or use those Neon stuns to stall out executes, which is one of the biggest strengths of this composition when teams like Cloud9 play it.
Yeah. I think that also the fact that the timeouts were so very well prepped, knowing that, you know, it's not only what we identify as their weakness, it's also the change that they're going to make. Let's try and read onto that. Let's try and change the flank for this round. I think that it was a very good masterclass from T1.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and shift focus to our Aim Lab shoot around. And we're going to be checking in on T1 Saya player. Always fun to see him shooting some bubbles. Or in this case, inanimate objects in the shape of...
They're animate. They're moving. They move.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. They are animated in the video game known as Aim Lab.
Of the game? Anime?
By the way, I believe if you scan that QR code, you will get yourself a. I think it's
Saya player for yourself.
Yeah, that or a discount. It's a nice little discount. That's what it is. We changed it up a little bit, guys. Nice little discount for Aim Lab Plus. So go ahead, check that out. Scan that QR code, and you too can shoot the animate objects. Like Saya.
Good fix.
There you go. Thanks.
But Saya was playing exceptionally well on that first map. He's kept his performance from the game versus EDG here internationally, and I'm sure that feels good to him to get that first win over NRG. Because, well, a lot of these players have played against this core in the past and lost them. It's this guy who went to Reykjavik, got knocked down to the lower bracket by this core, and has really felt the crushing loss before. And now he's turned that around with T1.
He really has, but I think it's also important to note as well that this team still very new, right? As we get ready for map 2 on Bind, and they're going to NRG's home turf. I mean, this is a map that they are so good at, Kukuka. So you have to be a little concerned that T1, you know, when they see this structure here from NRG on Bind, hey, anything's possible.
Coming into this event, there was only one map. By the way, this is the first bind that we're getting, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And there was one thing that I was looking forward to the most, and it was T1's bind. Okay. If they're going to run that Viper Harbor Gecko, I cannot wait to see it.
All right. Well, actually, we did end up getting some words from Chet ahead of this matchup with Yinsu. Let's check that out.
I've got Chet, the coach of NRG, here with me before we head into Bind. Now, Chet, you've been in these positions before, one map loss. It doesn't seem to phase you guys. You normally still close out the series, but what is the strat now? What's the most important thing for you when you are behind?
Well, I felt like we just didn't play our fundamentals good in this last game, and I think we played down to their level instead of playing like how we are, like a tier 1 team. So I feel like I just had a talk. We just need to do our stuff correctly, and we should just win.
You've done it before, Chet. Thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck.
I just love Chet interviews. We're a T1 team. Even though they're called T1, not T1, but we'll win the next one. I will say though that Mimi, at some point, I do appreciate the confidence that he has in his players, as he should. But you really do have to start putting some respect on the T1 players, or else they'll catch you off guard again.
They say those things, but I'm sure he does. And talk of this comp that you were excited for, Kakuka, it's back. The Gecko locked in for T1. So this is really modern bind. It's going to be Harbor Viper versus Harbor Viper.
I'm excited about this. I know the Angel is excited about Artist playing on the stage. Definitely two compositions that are going to clash against each other. But, you know, talking about preparation, NRG decides to go for this map. If T1 makes the mistake that, according to them, NRG was committed on that Lotus and play exactly that they play in that region, that Gecko can fall flat pretty easily.
In this first half, I think we should be watching for the extremity control from both these teams. With the Gecko Harbor, T1 will be really good to push down with a Cascade and that Gecko Flash or a Sky Flash behind it. And on the other side for NRG, they have good util for that as well. They play really slow with this comp, and they have lots of stall in their post plans.
It may look statistically favorable for NRG, but do not sleep on T1 because they got some things cooking. Let's go ahead and send it over to Pansy and Hypoc for the call.
Yeah, thank you, GB and the desk. And I think I have to ask you the question then about this modern bind comp, however they phrased it. Oh, that face not quite telling.
Something.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I feel pretty good about it. It's the sort of thing we were talking about EG yesterday with the Sova on Fracture. It's another one of those ones where it kind of throws off the protocols, and NRG are a team that are very reliant on that, right? They're very reliant on the prep, and I mean, Chet put it really well, right? Yeah, we need to play our game, stick to the game plan sort of thing. So this is another one that I think is an example. It's going to test the preparation for NRG for something that potentially isn't, familiar ground to them.
You're right. Okay, I like that. I guess if you're going to look at this map head-to-head, pound for pound, if T1 played the way NRG was going to play, NRG are going to win that every day of the week. So why not try something a little bit different? Speaking of something that's not too different is... Oh, okay, bye-bye, Victor. I guess that's how you deal with Victor trying to do those things. Something quite choreographed and well-read.
Some will get the plant through, though. All will go up behind Rashi will test it, but Copper gets two there.
Wait.
The mosh pit finds as well.
Where was the mosh pit put down? Maybe
inside the cove.
Oh dear, NRG. This is going to be a shaky start. Here we go. How much can they do here? FNS. Only got one in him. Not going to be able to find any more. Artists. Nah, not happening. T1.
This is definitely something to keep your eye on as well. We talk about now Harbor getting more playtime, I guess, across the entire map pool and counters, right? What can you do to really, I guess, remove the ability to find that guaranteed plant inside the cove? And the mosh pit, perfect example. To force them out, it gives them extra time to break it or for it to even expire. This is something that NRG might have to adjust slightly on their default plant locations. If they've got lineouts potentially for the cove coming in or anything like that, it's going to force NRG to adapt on the fly to some of these post-plant setups.
But also, I love the fact that Carpe was just sat there waiting with a shorty. Like, that made me so happy. Because again, when we look at the likes of Victor on this map, a couple of them are very like stylized, right? We're very, very aware of how they like to play because it's been so good historically. So if we get more of that, can't wait.
So even on top of that as well, Sire with the satchels, another tool to disrupt that cove plant as well.
True.
A slower start here. Emphasis shift from NRG towards Showers, but already Finesse has slipped the net. It's posted up, but the awareness there from Carpe. Look at the reposition here from T1.
Yeah, they're playing backside, allowing NRG. Oh, not allowing NRG anything. I've lied to you. Zeta doesn't even see him to kill him. They do make it towards the site, but that weapon just ain't enough. Carpe feeling the pressure now, though. Artist wants to close that gap, but he can't quite do it, so he has to just sit by Tribox. He's down to the last two. They do get the plant down. Carpe could do with some help here. Being toyed with, an Artist given no play in that. Som now, last one there. Dizzy going to be sent on it. And hello, final player, Som! A little spicy, but ain't gonna be enough. That's three standing, that's a defuse. T1 looking very composed here, Mike.
Carry across three weapons as well. Carpe Carpe and Sire, 400 and 500. Sorry, 50 credits. So we're not going to play this through and try and protect the economy a little bit. The early progress here from Carpe will result in the ultimate being available in round 3. Zeta just catches a glimpse. Makes them pay for it. For the first time on the floor towards B, or at least initially here, lent that direction. Another thing, got my eye on, as always, Finesse. What value can he find behind this wall to lurk up on short? Heavy lean towards A here from T1.
He's got a lot of players to potentially find value against. 3 there. Oh, hello. Munchkin noting quite the substantial presence towards B long.
And a big indicator who it was as well. It's the Sky and the Rays, so no rotation comes through just yet. I want to see Munchkin back off a little bit and respect this pressure early on.
I think he's just trying to buy a couple. I don't know. He's not.
Nobody's moving
rotating.
yet,
Yeah. So I guess him holding like that was a little bit daring, but does eventually slip back towards elbow.
Maybe posturing up a little bit just to imply there is a second player of T1 here, but NRG looking to follow through.
Now I want to see the commitment on this.
Is this just all catered towards isolating a player outside hooker? Maybe a TP crunch coming through.
Okay, burning the ult. That should confirm there's no one on the side, so it should be rather telling that it is just one player, so they should be able to get the plant.
Yeah, they cleared through with Carpe's ultimate.
Yeah, okay, so noting very little, sees a whole lot. Now it's time to go. Can they make anything of this? Yes! Sire player there so quickly. Finesse trying to backfill though, gonna catch at least the support system of Carpe coming in, but now Sire player's attentions turns. And it's gonna be FNS looking vulnerable, but standing tall. On towards the site though, any more presence coming in from CT. Munchkin, yes, noted, and not handled, crashing. Oh, Munchkin! The Forbes, unreal! And now FNS and Victor, looking worse for wear. FNS is the best he can. 3 huge kills. It's all on Victor in a 1v2. This shouldn't have been this close. They reveal, and now the 1v1. Victor is ice cold in these though. He's not gonna fall for it, he doesn't. NRG barely make it out breathing, but still standing with 1 on the board.
Victor goes huge with the Red Bull clutch, and T1 really taking the fight to NRG on this B site execute. Beautiful approach here. Maybe this is the indicator here with Carpe's ultimate of how they want to approach some setups here. Heavy emphasis towards A early on. They don't spot Finesse on that deep lurk outside.
Without him,
and he goes huge. Yeah, 3 kills on the round for him. Only, I believe, Zeta's Snakebite that finally brings him down.
That was the bonus, keep in mind. That was T1 with far less. Now we see them on the bite. What does NRG have to bring to it?
Well, Ardis down on a Spectre. He has to prioritize, obviously, the wall. And does actually go for a full shield here.
Okay, so Zeta and Carpe playing once again backside, super deep. Information, nothing noted down towards Fountain, deep B long. You already saw the, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Munchkin sending out utility there time and time again. Still nothing flagging, so they've got to be aware there's a high chance it's coming towards A. They've pulled over the 3rd player. Slayer player now towards the A site, and NRG playing contact. They're so deep already.
Probably wondering, but yeah, where do you want to play it?
A little bit of an anti-plant setup almost there. Mosh pit going to be invested, allows time for a little bit of a second glance from Carpe. Spams in, maybe looking for Victor, but he doesn't find the target. A little delay on the plant. Sure, Sire players. Paint Sheller will find some, though, but the plant is in now.
Ardis is going to have his hand full. Luckily slips away from short. It's 2 players from T1. Look to retake that space. Pit invested towards Lamps here. It's going to allow NRG to solidify this hold for the time being.
Crashies, can't stay alive. Ban's got him. And now they start to get back towards the site. Ardis falls, and now it's down towards what's in the pit. You just saw Victor slip on through. I'm pretty sure he's just seen. FNS gets a little closer, but falls. And now it's all revealed. The fuse comes in. T1 navigating this NRG threat so well. 3 alive. The fuse is there. 3-1 now.
Carpe waits until the final moment when there's definitely a commitment behind this utility. And that's the catalyst for T1 to follow through. NRG, like I said, it feels like scratching their heads walking up here onto A site. Not a single player showing their hand from T1.
Because it kind of felt bizarre almost that we've seen T1 kind of play like backside, right? Sitting super deep, but then their anti-plant setup's kind of denying that space between, you know, the mosh pit coming in, the paint shells, everything else. They've got a lot of kit to kind of give themselves that retake potential almost before the spike's even down.
Victor does have the showstopper here. Side player in a position to greet them, but Crashies will punish for the Sheriff.
There are 3 players here, though, from T1. So this was a sack. It is going to be only Munchkin over towards that B side, so they should be able to hold on towards this one. NRG finding more connections. Oh, ban, that's nasty. FNS are not going to be happy with that. Ban wants him dead. One more shot in this. And one more bullet, but Zeta's Snakebite will do it. Leaving just some Crashies now. Spike's not even down. T1 really problematic to play against. I feel we're going to see a timeout from NRG. Soon is a strong word, but I think we'll see it relatively quickly as this is very much a different looking bind coming out here. Do we just see Seekers?
Yeah, Munchkin's just posted the Seekers on B.
Wow.
A little bit of an overinvestment here, but I guess T1 desperate to convert this anti-eco. Crashes down to 32 HP and Som down to 78, so got a question there. Som's already done some work here from that same position with the Sheriff, but Zeta shuts it down. A pit as well. T1 throwing everything here.
30 seconds left.
They're terrified of Crashies. Already got 2 kills this round and gets himself the Phantom.
Now's the time to be scared when he's got the upgrade.
20 seconds to play with and 32 HP. Dips on in, tries to keep.
He's got time to hit this TP.
I think he's going to do just that. Munchkin, though, can't position just to catch across. He has to just beeline towards the site. This shouldn't happen, and it won't. A lot invested into that, but for T1, I guess it's another round posted.
Yeah, but I'm looking at that. It's a massive overinvestment in my eyes.
Doesn't even break the bank either.
I mean, the pit's the one that's...
That felt like a lot.
Yeah. Especially here on the defense on bind, but have to wait and see if that amounts to anything here. Obviously, showstopper available. Crashes now with the Seekers online. NRG with the advantage. Maybe T1 just throwing those in, knowing that NRG slightly off kilter with this ult cycle.
Aggression?
Yeah, looking to switch things up massively. Deny this space from Finesse, but...
And how contrasting. We've seen them playing deep backside. First challenger found and falls. It's Sire player going down, and FNS passes with flying colors.
They're on opposite sides of the wall there. Carpe swinging one way, Sire swinging the other. A little bit disjointed, and we saw a few examples of that on Lotus, but time being, NRG a 5v4 situation presented.
Scout destroyed.
And now they're exploring towards showers. They're desperate to get FNS down. But look at his positioning. So hard to clear. There's no way you're going to be going that deep, are you? How far do they take this? FNS could be anywhere in their minds, but the crazy part is that NRG are coming back this way. This could be bizarre in a couple of seconds now.
I've got your trail.
The Seekers should tell, a very strange picture that someone's pushed up, but do they expect the second player here as well? It'll be very difficult for them to get out of this.
30 seconds left.
And in position to fire one, but Crashies stands tall. Finds the first, but Carpe will respond. A 3v4 now for T1. Not much utility to work with either, outside of Carpe.
Yeah, flash just back on now for Munchkin. Contact there, picked up, fully flashed, fully white. It's Zeta to take down Som, they know where Victor is. And he's gonna have to pop the ult, he has to do it! He only gets down one though, but he still gets to keep his life. Diffuser started, gets denied, Carpe gets off it, takes down FNS. Now down to the 2v2, but time is ticking. They've got to find these final players and Artist. He's holding that back line. Munchkin now, forced further away. Victor puts him to his grave. NRG burns a whole lot, but they walk away with their second now.
Okay,
One thing here for NRG to reduce this lead.
That's enough.
Again, looking at where the purchase will lie here. Munchkin toying with a Guardian, but
30 seconds
yeah,
left.
very strange to see Sire and Carpe so disconnected here. It was those two players on Lotus I'm talking about. There was a couple of examples where
Female in my fam.
these swings just aren't diligent enough versus a team like NRG. A Judge, a Stinger, Marshall here, so light investment on the side of T1.
NRG just going through the checklist, right? clearing out towards shower, spamming out the box. And they are now forced the hell away. Ban. I'll stick around on this a little bit and gonna lose his life. A little bit of an interesting choice, yeah. Wrong call there from him. Carpe tagged up. Pain Shell could be the death of him too. See how much damage he takes. Fair amount. Down very low here. You're already gonna hear that TV taken. Shot comes out. Victor very, very clean on this. And the last two players, Zeta and Munchkin, this is a near an impossible situation. A sheriff and a judge. Very hard to pry any more value out of this round. As NRG looking to stabilize here, and they're not far from it. It should be a 3-4 scoreline. Potentially 5 alive if they are managing to stay away from those last two weapons.
Zeta just desperately waiting for anything. I don't think we'll even find a consolation. NRG should be able to solidify their position overall here. Give them effectively a round in hand if they can keep this. Keep all of these weapons on the board. Be careful. Zeta doesn't follow into the TP, but no, opposites just fall. And building back towards a couple of these ultimates as well. For Victor, 4 away from the showstopper again. Ardis just about getting close to that first res. But T1 actually with that overinvestment previously, in a pretty good position in terms of this ult cycle, Lauren.
Yeah.
Carpe back on that ultimate. We saw it used in what, round 3? Side play on the showstopper as well. NRG looking to continue pressuring this A site hold. Curious to what the adjustment is here for T1.
Victor, first port of call to try and take a little bit further control now. Over towards Lamps. We have seen that T1 are happy kind of playing from backside to an extent. They're very tough to get away to be able to deny the plant coming in, but that could be quite telling. First time we're seeing Ardis down deep by Fountain. But wait, you're seeing them walk behind this. Hold on. Munchkin's going looking for this fight here. Pop Flash. We sent through Ardis. Got to be ready for this one. He's not. Munchkin commits, and now this is scary, right? Trying to get through. They push through this. There's that ult as well. Masses of information. Paint Shell sent as well. Lovely combination work.
Som stuck in the detain. Falls to the Paint Shell. Mosh Pit denying space to finesse here.
Slowing him down.
Yeah, Carpe stalling this one out.
Side player on the way as well. Still Boombot there. Still has the ult as well. Maybe they could decide to dip through the TP if they want to. But again, look towards where Munchkin's positioning is. He can be such an issue if they want to try and cross out
30
through
seconds
from
left.
Luca. Down to 27 seconds. Flash. They know it. They know what's their way. Zeta's going to find finesse. And there's going to be the showstopper. Crashies making something for it. But 18 seconds, a 1v2. It ain't going to be easy. Oh, he makes a damn good go, but the positioning was great from Munchkin. They're on time, and keeping T1 just a little further ahead of NRG.
Yeah, maintaining a 2-round gap here. T1 will be able to scrape together. NRG actually going to pump the brakes here. Call a timeout. And some of these pinches through the TP, you can see Som just desperately trying to get away.
Yo, not even close!
It was pretty close.
Not even.
Yeah, it was pretty close. So yeah, curious if NRG are going to come out and switch things up a little bit here. Testing this A site hold once again. I guess struggling a little bit in terms of finding some sort of comfort here on the attack. It feels very, very hit or miss in terms of they find an opening engagement and create an opening, but T1's utility work has been fantastic there.
Yes.
They're ticking both boxes for me here. The anti-plant setups are perfect, and again, using the utility to stall when they do feel the pressure, and they concede that first blood as well.
Yeah, it's such a different tempo and kind of pacing to the game. Considering that, it's a very unique lineup in the agent composition that, as you said, it makes the rhythm that NRG are trying to set a little off kilter. It's a little harder to depend on those plants coming in because it's, again, T1 will give up vast majority of side control. We're rarely seeing them go for those early challenges apart from that one that went pretty poorly against FNS. they can sit back, kind of just keep denying time and time again till those rotations are in. They have, you know, the nice 5v5 on the site if they don't lose players. But I do want to see what NRG now lean towards, right? They've kind of had a lot of that test towards A. We haven't seen them explore that B side all too often. Might be seeing it now.
We have Artist and Finesse disconnected from this, so a widespread default. Take control outside the TP here, but Artist have his hands full if T1 look to aggress, and not expected at all. Artist finds 2 absolute freebies.
Do they just take the TP and go? Surely. Yeah, you absolutely do. Now, the only man who can stop him is Carpe. Moshpit gonna buy time, isolate a fight towards FNS, but not enough. FNS disrespecting that. Goes back in for a second look, and why not? Sight's all theirs, Puan gonna come in. This should be comfortable.
Carpe thinking he'd force Finesse off that angle, but
Spike planted.
he said re-challenging opens the site up for NRG. T1 a little lazy on this push out of showers, you got to say. Try and pull something like that out of a timeout. You have to anticipate NRG have switched things up.
Last player standing.
Crash is sharper than Munchkin this time around. It's just been out in no man's land.
Yeah.
Zeta positioned here in elbow.
Yeah. Credit here to NRG for adjusting very well after that timer, but I think you're right in kind of highlighting that sort of clear through showers. I guess it's the first time they'd seen that sort of thing, maybe just expecting FNS, but not expecting an adjustment off the back of the timeout. Maybe short-sighted there.
Yeah.
And again, like to have seen a little bit more intent behind it. Does Victor get this final one? Let's see. Yes, he does. Okay. Rifle removed. I want to see where the money lays for T1 as well.
T1's success hasn't come from aggression or being proactive here on the defense, so that's why it's a little strange to see it right out of the timeout.
You fought well.
I think it's, yeah, bands deeper on the angle. It's, I don't know if they're expecting to swing at the same time here, but just off kilter. I even said earlier on in this map, it's not the first time we've said that in this series about T1. Some of the setups they have.
That's a good picture of Wing.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. But now, there should be formalities underselling these sort of rounds. I want to see if NRG.
NRG should tie up here, though.
Yes, it should be 5 apiece, considering if it does get into dangerous territory, you have 3 very impactful ults coming through. You have a full purchase. You've been having the success you need. It would need someone to be either caught in a terrible mistake or over-delivering massively. For now, seemingly very cognizant of Munchkin's positioning. It's been a bit of a nuisance towards Artist when they had been going for that heavier lean towards A, and Artist left to kind of deal with him towards long. Dog to clear, Artist to follow, and Munchkin has to respect that.
Yeah.
But early on, though, you just see Munchkin solo posturing towards B. This time around, 3 teammates stacked behind him, so he's going to try and bait out a little bit of pressure here. Artist needs full effect on that flash, and Munchkin posts up deeper on the angle.
I kind of like what Munchkin's doing, though. He's like almost overselling, right? He's like trying to bait them into playing the site, which with the Seekers coming in kind of negates that. It loses a little bit of its validity as NRG go, hold on. All of those Seekers just went towards this site. I think there's a stack.
Looking to commit behind it, though. Victor looking to find some space. All committed now. Showstopper as well.
Yeah,
Next found one.
time, 10 seconds, hold on.
Remaining.
Where's that final player, Sire? What can you do about this? Only a Sheriff, 5 seconds, the plant's in. Victor, down low. But the rest sitting pretty. Perfect HP, this would need miracles for Sire player. And NRG are giving him nothing. No flank to be seen, they are sat waiting. These crossfires breaking would be very difficult. And again, no one's moving a muscle. NRG are waiting this one out. Swans Victor takes him. He was the weaker of the 3. And the other 2 can just filter away, posture towards long, get ready to slip away. Sire player losing these opportunities second by second here.
That's on the way out. No, Som turns on it. NRG do try things up. 3 full, but finances protected here. We have to purchase out for the rest of the half. Requires a little bit of investment on the side of NRG. Only the res available here. Said time definitely became a factor here, and that's where I see some of these scrappy little stacks can cause problems. NRG wise to it, clean up nicely.
It's a remix. Okay, so Seekers for Munchkin, Reckoning as well. Zeta's actually only one away too, that could be interesting. I wonder if that comes through in this round. What do we have here as the start? So a little bit more of an interest towards the A site that, I mean, it's your bog standard default really, but with a little bit of intention towards Shower behind it, and FNS slipping on up.
The adjustment here though being it's banned to support Carpe and not Zeta this time around. I see only one snake bite. I don't know if that was invested or wasn't brought into the round.
Something magnificent about hearing Wingman in this arena. Seekers going to come through, as does Munchkin. This now is a crunch, but Crashies fights his way out of it with FNS's deeper position. It catches off Carpe, and now the plant can come in. They've got them pinned. Now, Victor, how much more you got? Oh, that's just ridiculous work, but Munchkin overwhelms him. We're down to a 3v3 here. This is still very, very possible. Tough work, though, for Zeta to try and build back through from CT.
No utility to work with. Munchkin down to 9 HP, and Ardis looking to punish Munchkin. Post up for the angle, though.
Oh, he's got
a
him!
kill.
Massive player advantage now. FNS and Som. Starting to feel that strain. Som trying to slip away a little deeper as FNS trying to readjust here, make it work on the fly. T1 starting to be hands forced here, have to make the way, and FNS doing everything he can. Oh, it's not enough. This time is on their side. T1 clawing this back.
Finesse nearly with a beautiful on-the-fly adjustment of this Poison Orb. Finds a freebie in the backlines and bails out. Som here. Yeah, Munchkin, this is the crucial kill. Ardis is readjusting here, potentially to find that res, to get an extra body back online in Showers. Beautiful awareness from Munchkin. Carpe brings a Bulldog in here, but one away from the ultimate once again. Zeta, Psy, and Ban all have theirs available. Viper's bit off the rip. Will secure that Showers control early on. T1 should lean deeper towards this B commitment. As you can see, actually, yeah, Ban making his way across. And Carpe retrieved the orb as well, so beautiful position to be in here for T1.
Yeah, you can see Carpe's diligence starting to show because he's been punished by FNS slipping here so many times. I think FNS is timing on that. Yeah, okay. Carpe was ready for it this time, but has to make a quick evacuation. The site is fully under NRG control. They've got everything you want. Yes, the mosh pit's going to come in to slow it down a little bit. Viper's pit being almost thrown up as well. This is everything being poured in. Victor going to isolate Carpe with just the spam straight on through. The plant denied still, held off still. See T1 want to fight back in.
Finally, the plant comes through. Shows
Oh,
here. Saya doesn't go through, but
oh, gets Ardis.
wait, Som took the spike through the TP.
Som's got to run.
Whoa.
He's a lucky boy. He's heard this. Surely Munchkin has heard these steps. They bought so much time for this. What a bizarre scenario, Mike.
30 seconds left.
So many ults committed here on site. So much utility.
25.
Not a lot of time left on the clock.
Look at Munchkin.
This is huge.
If they have any more utility to throw in, this would be the time. Slow it down for just a second or two, and Munchkin can be down. Oh, the TP! They're making a run for it. 13 seconds. They're off. He's double checking. He's making sure. He's triple checking. But no, they made it all the way out to B. And if you're Munchkin, you are furious with this. With only a second to spare, the plant is in, and Sire player overextends a little too far. It's Victor to find him. And now man advantage sat with NRG.
Crashy's looking to make something work in elbow here. Ban has to find this kill if it's doable for T1, and he doesn't. Crashy's will shut him down.
It's going to be tied all up. This could be 6 apiece on the half here. Munchkin, good work. Needs a lot more though. Tag and the frag. Zeta gets it. Time now.
Safe plant.
Oh my god, it is. They've got to fight into it towards Crashies. It ain't pretty. Zeta gets towards halfway. He's got to go huge. He can't do it. Crashies closing in on the gap. Bringing us back to 6 apiece. This is the game I want to be seeing. NRG being challenged on a map that is so notoriously good for them. This composition. I see the method to the madness here, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. I think T1 applying it perfectly.
Say it, buddy.
LG with the right response, but coming out level pegging here. 6-6 on the half.
No,
A couple of these right down to the wire. NRG sweating in the last 15 seconds of some of these attacking rounds.
This is just brilliant. Where else would you want to be? I want to see how this concludes. At 6 apiece, I think the desk will be waiting to take you through so far.
Trust me, I want to see how this thing concludes as well, Lauren. That was probably one of the most wild rounds of Valorant we've seen at an international event in quite some time, but 6-6 again, Kukuka. I don't think anyone going into this was like, yeah, you know, these two teams are going to be evenly matched. Like, don't get me wrong, not to try and, like, throw shade, but oh my goodness gracious, T1 are bringing it, NRG's bringing it, it's amazing.
You're saying that you want this to end? This is probably the most entertaining map that we have in the competition so far. And I was so excited to watch this composition, especially because of the way that this utility is going to be used coming from T1, and we can see it in this round. They have the mosh pit, they have the snake bats, they have the paint shield. There's so many things that they can use to prevent, to delay the plan, and of course, to create that chaos, that damage that will give them a huge upper hand when we're talking about those retakes.
And I think a lot of that is a prep against the style that NRG plays on this map. When they go for these executes on either side, it's quite predictable. On A, it's a wall from the sage to block off. You're planting close, and you're normally holding in U-Haul to hold for this post. But T1 are constantly disrupting that with utility. The first volley is those mollies you're talking about, and the second volley is always a combination of the Sky Flash and the Dizzy coming over at once, which lets them flood in and find such good value in these retakes. But now we switch over into the second half here, and for NRG on the defensive side, this composition is one where they're normally really good at playing into these retakes. They don't have the same stall that T1 does, but where they will thrive is fighting back in using those Sage Wall and the Harbor utility to block off that spike.
I think that Carpe has been doing an insane job. So now if we take a look also at that attack win percentage, it's also pretty high for them. I think that we're going to get a lot of what we saw in the first half translated into Carpe. Also some brilliant performance on Harbor.
Oh, this match has truly been the gift that keeps on giving. And the good news is we have plenty more to come. Let's send it right back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Yeah, 6 apiece. I don't know how this then translates into the second half though, Mike, because I just don't know enough about this composition, right? When we see these agents coming out, how viable is it on the second half? Yes, it looked great on the first half. They've certainly kept up at 6 apiece. I keep going back to, you know, historical results. You know, you go to what you know, and obviously NRG, on paper, you got to put a lot of stock in them. But here, they're being challenged by all occasions.
So I will actually be in position to receive a lot of information early on here. NRG will have to pivot away, or reposition at least. Ardis tasked with anchoring towards A. Late investment of the wall outside showers, so we'll give him some sort of comfort. NRG still looking to probe here.
They're going to carry on this path. There's like a no man's land. They've got to win the fights, and they do. Som and FNS keeping NRG standing in this, but look at the HP. Yes, they're down low. Can Sire player catch the punish? I think FNS has read it well. Absolutely now hearing that frenzy fire. The Pain Shell Munchkin tries to slip away a little quietly on this. Still trying to go for the same approach though.
No regrowth here from Crashies, so Finesse down to 18, Som down to 10. Ardis on the other side of the map won't be able to heal anybody up. And they're committing towards this 4-man stack. They're expecting T1 to wait outside this cut sound and wait for the rotation to come through, but we can see it's not happening. And actually, that's a big, big tool for T1 to work off now. The flash finding nothing, and NRG drift away, Lauren.
Yeah, you can see Ardis maybe calling for help. A little bit of utility coming through that's keeping his attention turned. But now, does Crashies call him back? No, not yet. They're leaving it down to the 2 here. Som is very low, though, and he's held his ground well. Munchkin going down is huge. And now just the 2 remaining. But yes, the HP is low, but the heals are going to come out. You're going to start seeing some of these players getting back on their feet. It's only Som really left. Down on very little. Need almost an oversell here. And Sire player trying to be pivotal, trying to be that guy. Does do well, but he's lost Sator in the meantime. Now there's problems. How does he get past 4 players? That's the first, that's the second!
He's got the nade!
Chill. Switch up to the ghost! Not gonna happen! Wow, FNS called in there to deal with the problem that was on the site, because that got way too close.
Yeah, T1 play this to perfection, though. Like I said, waiting outside here, NRG anticipating that, the flash finding nothing, and they commit to that rotation. Luckily, though, Som with 10 HP finds a crucial kill to bring it to a 5v2. Massive from him. Sire makes that one interesting, yes, but can't get anything done with the nade reset. Just a Marshal invested here, 2 Sheriffs Zeta and Carpe.
Toxins going up.
Really, in this half, you're looking for NRG to, again, mitigate some of the risk early on with this utility from T1, but also prevent T1 from really having strength to set up for some of these executes. I'm curious, once we get to the buy rounds, how NRG will approach this.
Just the same old exchange of utility. I wonder if maybe Carpe and Ban could have caught a little timing on FNS there, but no. He's been playing a very, very good game, FNS. Playing in crashes here on that lovely little pop flash. Lovely. Keeping it clean. Fix is in the right place. T1 not finding any real room to work here. I mean, the spikes are back down in spawn. They're not particularly doing too much in that way.
Look at the probe on both extremities, try and find something tangible to work from.
Shield going up.
NRG able to slow this down, though. Saya going hunting, but Ardis is positioned close on bench here.
30 seconds left.
Will punish. Carpe down to 1 HP.
One enemy remaining.
Come through, Ban will respond.
Down A.
Anything extra here will be a bonus, but Ardis finds his third.
It didn't feel like there was masses of intent from T1 in that when you see
Not a
the
lot of
spike
threat,
left
no.
down. Nah. But the bonus isn't going to be particularly strong coming out from NRG, so a very good opportunity for T1 on this buy to come back in with something that should get them in this round, or at least in this half.
Yeah, come into this with a Stinger, 2 Spectres. NRG definitely trying to prop themselves up a little bit here. Some early rounds. Saya player already 2 away from the showstopper.
We go.
About the only progress to write home about. I guess Som 2 off the reckoning on the other side of things. Deep control maintained here. The wall, but again, it's so early on that T1 probably going to wait this out. A little bit of Ardis love in the picture-in-picture there.
We all love Ardis deep down.
Yeah, you might not see it on this map, though.
No.
Angel's about the only person excited watching this.
He's absolutely frothing over this one. Loves a bit of it. Now, we are seeing a late walk down mid. Hold on. Ardis and Som. Is T1 checking it? Yeah, they do. Okay, so they're a little aware there's a chance there's that little deeper exploration mission with 49 seconds now. T1 starting to make their move towards the A site. As Ardis does need to slip away. Find a corner of safety. Try and find a fair fight. He's done it. Overwhelms Carpe and gets himself an upgrade.
Yeah.
Suddenly becoming a little bit more dangerous and has to wait for the other 3 to make it towards the site. The plant is down now.
Zeta no snake bite, Saya no paint shell, so not a lot in terms of utility here to disconnect from sight. Zeta and Munchkin, are they looking to re-clear back through showers? Potentially, but a little bit of damage done onto Saya is going to force him back deeper. They've got to be quick about this if they want to.
Yeah, they've left him very alone, but Saya player apparently good for it. Got the ult as well, going to probably send that. Yes, he does. Doesn't get it, though. FNS! Oh, okay, it's Munchkin to hold on to this. Victor does have a rifle he had it at the start of the round. Not going to get the chance to fully bring it in. T1 surviving there with 2 standing. Casualties for sure, but still.
So, yeah, NRG draw blood and force. A massive repurchase here. Now Elias Munchkin's going to drop one across. And very diligent on the approach here to re-clear Som on top of the box because it's Ardis to bait out the presence.
I got you, okay?
T1 actually on the brink of a couple more ultimates, though. Seeker's nearly there, Reckoning nearly there. LG do have the res, and actually Som 1 away from his as well. LG looking to get a little proactive potentially here, or just retrieve the orb. Carpe close, but not there to punish.
No, just a second or 2 off from that. You can see the progress being made on the other side of the map, though, so who can control will be in T1's hands. FNS calling over some support here. Going to be seeing Victor lean over a little, but going back towards A. Maybe feeling out the pressure over towards it, not reading into too much. But Sideplay's got a dirty little angle if anyone does try and come over to try and hit that rotation.
A very deep hold on B here. Finesse tucked outside. the spawn entrance and crashes over towards elbow. But not committed angles here.
I think the flash wouldn't have found anyone there. The second one will do. Okay. Should be enough to pull over the players here as well, because side players on the site. So he's been able to clear pretty well through this. You noted it earlier though. Very, very deep hold going out from NRG. Maybe leaning straight into that retake rather than the challenge.
Again, an overstep here from Zeta because NRG have the Reckoning, so big retake ultimate available here.
Speak of it. What did T1 do about this? Try and take a fight on the way out, but you can already see them being caught, being crossing away from elbow, and it's so clean on the playback in. So clean from NRG.
Victor, too, with the paint shells. Was that off the stun? I saw Som get the assist for it, but two people eat the same stun for the Reckoning and die to the same paint shell. Not sure if we'll get a chance to look at that.
There it is.
Yeah, get forced back inside the tube. That's huge. And again with, I'm not sure why, but unorthodox plant spot here forces T1 into a very committed post plant on site.
Yeah, a little underwhelming in that round for me for T1, a little bit short-sighted, considering the kit, the tools that NRG had to play with. Crashies this time. Tested quicker, but again, look at the bite. Okay, Sire players found him behind that wall, so that is a recoverable rifle if we see FNS going to sit a little bit deeper, which I feel like he will do. Can't particularly stand and fight on this one, no. He will respect it enough. So that is a rifle to hand. Zeke is going to come in as well. They want this one. Well, I'm going to be coming through. And all players towards CT for NRG.
That's it. Ultimate coming through here. Carpe going to clear some space. Does it catch anything?
Nah.
And ready to follow up, but nothing comes of it.
A little window towards site. Didn't find much this time with the paint shell, though. 3 players towards elbow, 1 towards CT. Artist trying to be held back here. Lovely control being shown by Sire player. But you saw in the meantime, Son did isolate Munchkin. Swing through the wall. They lose. Sire player still standing, but only for so long. Once again, NRG pulling off these retakes very well.
Sire finds 3 on the round, but nobody else from T1 able to secure a kill. Victor back on the showstopper now. NRG on 10. And a crucial round here for T1 to come back into.
This is a timeout. I mean, the side, we kind of looked to see how it looked on the second half here, Mike. It's not looked good.
Yeah, it really hasn't. We haven't seen much value, if any, from the utility on some of these executes. Yeah, it's only really Band's utility that's the focal point of these executes. So very curious to see if T1 are able to dig a little deeper here and show us something else.
Yeah, I kind of hoped we'd see that same, slightly varied approach that we did on that first half. Brought in here something a little bit new.
Yeah, the difference in reliance on that utility is this is the half you expect to see.
Yes. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Now, obviously for NRG, if you're going to play them at a more standardized pace, a more standardized game, they're going to thrive in this, which we are seeing now. All going to come in though. Som being chased down here. Sire player is hot on his heels, but not going to overextend on this. Artist already going to be holding back Ban. Falls away. Again, this is feeling individual, but it's worked well enough at least for one. Seeker comes in. Som can't quite step forward in time. I thought he'd have that one. Spraying wildly towards CT, but the plant has at least gone through for T1 this time.
No flank coming through, so T1's backline will be safe for the time being. Again, look at the utility. There's nothing available now for T1. Victor has a showstopper to work his way back in. A flash for Crashies now, who's on the operator. And 2 snake bites for Finesse.
Oh, denied! Oh, right back at you though. Som showing up here. Crashies connecting. And NRG starting to front the side. Carpe and Munchkin do anything? No! NRG once again strolling through him.
So T1 just have no tools available whatsoever. NRG, yes, they concede the plant, but it doesn't cost them an awful lot.
Nope.
There's none of this inventory being drawn out by T1.
I'm honestly a little underwhelmed.
I mean, the timeout's coming now, but it's very late in the day. There's not enough rounds really to play with here. That felt like a must-win. They get the plant, yes, so it might enable a light shield purchase, but there'll be gaps in the utility, or you're forced onto an SMG. Sire player will have the showstopper, so there's something in terms of a confidence builder at least, but there have been very few positives on this half.
Yeah, only one round claimed so far for T1. That was the bonus, and it was actually a pretty poor bonus you're looking for.
Right, yeah, two came out of that from T1.
Yeah, so it wasn't even a clean victory in that way. Yeah. Now, okay, if we talk, more, I guess, outside of what we've seen so far, yes, NRG are extremely well known on this map, very, very diligent, of course. But again, it's not even that, really. We're just seeing that T1 don't have some of the key stakes that we were really excited by on the first half. That's just
pretty flat. There's not really been an awful lot of depth. They're not achieving too much in the early round, and they're not creating enough pressure. Like I said, NRG thriving in this. I mean, we talked about on map 1 that NRG would thrive in that sort of play style, and I think it's starting to show here on the second half. T1 lacking ideas.
Yeah, I don't know what this timeout's going to be able to achieve. That's what we're here to look at now.
Well, see here on the screen, forced back in, a judge potentially in the hands of Sire player who does have the showstopper, and rifles across the board. Zeta being the only asterisk. A Bulldog, but favoring the utility.
Yeah, Victor's got the operator though, and that scares the life out of me. They will be able to get pretty close towards him. He has to respect that utility and back away here. Sire player doesn't get anything.
What?
Huh?
They tried to pinch through showers, but the showstopper doesn't find his Som. Invulnerable in that position, apparently.
I'm a little heartbroken from that. That looked pretty on the money. Ban going to suffer the damage to try and get the plant down, but it's something to get the punish towards Munchkin. And now 3v3. Artis even having that res in pocket, going to bring him back up towards 4, but Ban going to find crashies. Okay. The HP a little low, yes. Damage trying to come through. Just trying to hold on in this pit. Being surrounded, chipped away at Carpe, takes a step through. Isolating Som is perfect, but can he find the final 2 here? Carpe trying to slip around a little here. This could be everything. He couldn't quite adjust towards Victor, but he's made it doable. He's made it possible. But the paint shell's so good. He's taking him down so low. And Victor didn't even see him.
That is ridiculous from Victor. Goes absolutely huge for NRG to find them their 12th. Baited in perfectly.
Match point.
T1. This is going to be a hard game to look back on this map here. Now the money's pretty shoddy too. Operator still out. This just hasn't felt like they've got this half at all.
No, I mean, look at the timeline here. It tells you exactly what you need to know. The last 4 rounds, all defusals for NRG. T1 burning everything up in terms of utility to get them into a post plant, and then they have nothing at their disposal.
Yep, NRG starting to outclass here, but it ain't over yet. Got a long way back though, and FNS gets away with his life. Still standing. Needs the res. Oh my god, Victor! How is he getting away with this sort of thing? I mean, this half has been black and white. NRG clear T1.
Cool, calm, and collected as well. Barely breaking a sweat there. You can see on the faces of NRG. T1, like I said, just lacking the ideas to really tie anything together. As well, this is just the story of First Bloods. In total, it's 7 First Bloods overall, same as the round count for T1, but the second half, time and time again, their inability to create openings, create opportunities for them to find comfort on the attacking side, and like I said, the synergy in terms of the utility available in this composition just wasn't there. There wasn't enough versatility to it.
No, it felt, as I said, NRG looked comfortable throughout that second half, and that's something you never want to be seeing because they get to play their own game plan. They don't get forced out of it. They, as I said, comfortable. First half felt completely different. The first half, you're like, okay, I love this. I love that they'll be able to deny these plants by so much time. This is great.
I'd be curious to know what actually is the catalyst to make this sort of change in the second half, because like I said, it looked so well composed, the timings were perfect. Again, Carpe and Zeta's ability to really mitigate damage on those A-site holds and wait out for the flanks to come through, the rotations to come through, and addressing the backline. looked fantastic for T1. Second half, we didn't see any sort of examples like that.
And that scares me though, going into what, map 3. Now maybe not as out there, maybe the picks aren't gonna be as quirky, but it does worry me that if NRG come in now feeling confident, playing their own game style, you know, a little bit of a reminder that they are the favored team on paper by quite a decent margin. What does T1 have left to do with this?
Yeah, because T1 was stretched to the absolute limit on Pearl by EDG. Again, a very, very hard-fought victory, finally in overtime. I'll say NRG going to feel it like they've got back in control of this series slightly now, heading into Pearl.
Yeah, it does feel like NRG with a stark reminder of who they are. A little bit of a spark brought back to them, but map 3 is going to be everything. Pearl on the horizon. You do not want to miss that.